Hey, Andy, it's Nick Gerlach, your co-host. Good seeing you today. First time I've seen you in a few months, I think. Sitting in the back of the plane, the flight you're on, getting ready to go to Europe this tour, and our flight's delayed because someone blew up the toilet too hard. And what I'm wondering is it too late for me to back out on this? I'm just kind of starting to get a bad feeling about this. A lot of stuff going wrong already. I don't know, the energy's off here. We're getting ready to head the runway. I think I still have a few minutes. I can scream and run off this plane if there's time. So let me know if there's still time for me to get a sub to play sax for you in this tour. Okay, see you in about 6 hours.
Times have changed, the band is strange. Here we are doing cocaine. Brian, we're doing blow. You could be right, you could be wrong. The bag's so big and the line so long. Brian, we're doing blow. Your friend gave us a record deal in a big old fat advance. We told us to invest in stocks, but we did blow with our fans. We played the show, we sold it out. We met a guy and we bought an ounce.
We're sorry.
Brian, we're using blow.
We need help. Help us.
Schwartz, we're doing cocaine.
Let's start the show, baby.
All right, and we're back. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. How's our heads? How's our minds? Are we staying out of trouble? Are you trying not to fuck up your legs? Jesus Christ. I'm not clapping to that. Wow. What a time. We're in an airport hotel on our way to Belgium. We got a lot of things to talk about before we have, by the way, Sea.Hear.Now. Shout out to all the people who showed up. New Jersey showed the fuck up. I did not expect, we were competing with this like young hip band called Wet Leg. I'm like, oh, this band's huge. I don't know how many people are going to show up. And goddamn, it was one of the biggest shows we ever had. I just want to say thank you so much for coming out. This is a Sea.Hear.Now installation, the last of them. This is actually the last of the festival summer. We did good. We had a bunch of festivals we got to showcase on the podcast, and then it's coming to an end, back to a regular program. What is that saying? Regular standard program? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to Sea.Hear.Now. That was a blast. Shawn blew out his knee. Me and Shawn were having a little tough before the show, like brothers, misunderstanding each other. And he was going extra hard, taking that aggression out on his guitar and on the show, which that's what we do as musicians. We take it out on our music so we don't kill each other on the road. And we apologized. I apologized on stage. We had some peace. And then everyone finally started breathing good again. And then... right when everything was good, he was doing his rock thing and he jumped on a subwoofer. Everything was good. And then I was like about to do my ending speech and I was in the middle of it and he was walking back on stage and his knee dislocated. He fell to the ground. We knew Shawn had like shitty knees. He's always had shitty knees, but I've only seen the knee pop out like once or twice in our career together. But it popped out. And there was, 10 plus thousand people there. And I'm doing my speech about never giving up and never keep fighting. And then my brother is, Shawn is on the floor. His kneecap is to the right. I'm like, oh, fuck. And, this is the story of this band. He kept playing. There was medics trying to run on stage. He shoot him away. He's like, let's just finish the song. And I got to shout it out to him. Shawn fucking Eccles. Unbelievable, buddy. You fucking did it, Sorry we We butt heads a lot. We're brothers on this fight, and sometimes we, there's different things that happen in both our heads, and we overanalyze things, and the only way to get through it is communication, and we're going to work on that. But speaking of his knee, he had to pop that bitch in, and normally he does it, and it'll pop in, but it took 5 times to pop the knee back in, so he kept on missing the knee, and I could just see the agonizing pain while he's hitting the cords. He was still hitting the cords so I could do my speech, and I was like, that if that isn't fucking rock and roll, I don't know what is. So shout out to Shawn Echols one more time for giving it all he's got. We didn't even have any dialed-in gummies to fucking help with the pain. Shout out to dialed-in gummies. They're the best. To be honest, I've been on the road for I went to Europe and I was on the road before, so I haven't eaten my dialed-in gummies in like 3 or 4 weeks, which I'm kind of bummed out about, and I can't bring them to Europe because that's illegal. So I'm going to be 2 weeks missing my dialed-in gummy fix. But for everyone in Denver, buy some dialed-in gummies for me. They're great. Rosin-based gummies, they taste great, they feel great. I like taking a half when I'm doing my thing, or if at nighttime right before I go to bed, I'll pop a whole cube, which is I love it. So go buy some dialed-in gummies. Keith and the crew, they're amazing, good people, and I can't wait to get back to Denver. I think I get back to Denver October 8th. Do we get back to Denver October 8th? We have 2. What? 9th. October 9th. Damn, I've been on the road for so fucking long. It's crazy when you're just on the road for, it starts getting to 5 weeks, 6 weeks. You forget that you have a home. And you try to make the best out of it. Chicken wings in my hotel room, feeling like a fucking, just a slob. I was eating, I slept walked on I took a Xanax last night because I'm still jet lagged because I was in Europe a couple days ago, 3 days ago, and I'm going back today. We're going back to start our European tour. And we had to fly to Canada to play that show. By the way, shout out to Canada. Fuck yeah, Canada. That was fucking sick. Canada, I fuck with you. I was going through a little depression spell. I didn't know. I was walking through the streets. I'm like, damn, is Canada depressed or am I depressed? Because it was really weird because I loved it, but everyone was kind of sad in a sense. Maybe I was just showing my own inner mind because I was just so tired. But then we went to the show and everyone was fucking pumped up. So it definitely was. I was having a little depression spell there for a couple days. That's why it's important to sleep, guys. I'm gonna do a little pep talk, guys. If you guys are doing drugs every day, or if you're doing speed and you can't go to bed, this is why you're becoming a crazy person. Because sleep is important. I finally got like 3 days of like 8+ hours of sleep. I feel fucking great. So I'm going to clap it up for sleep. Get some sleep. You can't be partying every day. You can't be having these benders and think you're going to, you're not a young buck anymore. You have to keep going. You have to get some sleep, drink some water. I've got fucking vitamins. I went to the vitamin store right before the hotel. I got some D. I got some probiotics. I'm ready to fuck. Let's go. But, anyways, I got some sleep and I feel better. I was like really depressed in Canada. I was just got off of, the cruise, which I'll talk about a little bit too. Before we do that, Repsy.com. Guys, you in a band? Are you needing help? Is your agent not giving you enough stuff right now? Or if you don't have an agent, do you want to get out there? Are you getting that restless leg? Sign up for Repsy.com. All it will do is help. You could be a band. You could be an independent venue trying to find bands for your independent venue. You could be a wedding planner trying to find cool bands for the wedding that you're booking. You could be a fucking juggler. You want to be a magician? Want to get out there and fucking just start juggling balls? Well, that sounded weird. You want to juggle some bananas and God damn it. Why is every reference I have goes to dick? You want to juggle something. And sign up for Repsy.com because all it's gonna do is help. This industry is so fucked up right now. It really is, and everyone's gonna be stepping on each other's toes in the fall time. I was like looking at the schedule because we're about to start our fall tour with Little Stranger. By the way, thanks for buying tickets. I was worried for a little bit, but now I feel good. I was worried. I feel good. We're going on tour with Little Stranger in the fall, so go grab your tickets. If you're new, because you're just here to listen to John from Head in the Heart. By the way, Head in the Heart was fucking amazing, and I had a great conversation with him. But go buy your fall tickets. But back to how bad the music industry is right now. People are stepping on each other's toes. There's not enough money. We're going in balls deep into a recession. We're going to need all the help we can get. So sign up for Repsy.com. All right, back to the cruise before we talk about John from Head in the Heart. That was awesome. That was the first time meeting him. I was a big fan of him. He's gotten me through a lot of depressing times listening to his sad songs. He's got some sad-ass songs, man. Woo! Some sad fucking songs. But I love a sad song. You know, that's my shit. You all know that already because I talk about it all the time. That's why I love Craigie. Fuck, what was I talking about? You're working. Never mind. Bo's out here working. Bo's going to Europe for the first time. You stoked, Bo? You're fucking stoked. I just got back. Yeah, we'll talk about that in 2 seconds. Keep working on. He's planning the Europe tour. Doesn't even speak the fucking languages, these guys, countries. But we're out here. We're bringing our American boy. He's going to be killing it. Anyway. My European, the Virgin Voyage cruise was a fucking blast. Shout out to Virgin Voyage. Shout out for letting me bring 6 of my homies. It was just a blast. They gave me a little allowance. They were like, you know, it was like a free trip. All I had to do was like do some Instagram posts. I was like, damn, I really feel like a fucking influencer right now. I felt like Khloe Kardashian in this bitch. Like, I was like, had to go on an influencer meeting with all these different fucking weirdo influencers. One dude that I had the meeting with, he's God, it's just amazing how you can make money now. This one guy I met on the cruise, that's an influencer that Virgin paid for to go there. He wore an orange Speedo the whole time. I'm hoping that fool has like 4 or 5 Speedos because your ass is going to smell eventually. It's hot as fuck on those cruises. They're all like, it felt like a club. I'm not really into the club scene, but it was like Ibiza and shit. And I'll tell you all about that. I went to a fucking EDM concert, which fucking sucked. I saw this guy, David Guetta, and it was just expensive. And I was high on acid. I was like sweaty Europeans everywhere. I'm just like, this isn't my vibe, but you know, I tried it out. So shout out to Ibiza for, making me go to some fucking EDM concert. But I just didn't. I don't understand that. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on it. I just don't understand it. It's like everyone's just so sweaty and they're on ecstasy and they're grinding their fucking teeth and they're just like really close and you're spending $25 to buy a vodka soda and they're like, yeah, fuck it. It's just like, that's not my taste. So I sat in the back and did a little cocaine. I did cocaine. Yeah, I know. I did some cocaine in Europe. I was like, I'm on vacation. I'm not singing. I did a couple days of cocaine, but that was fun. I wasn't grinding my teeth or anything. I was just like, but I got to sleep for 12 hours on the vacation. Yada yada. But anyway, back to the cruise. It was really beautiful. I love being on a boat. I can't wait for Jam Cruise. We're playing Jam Cruise in February. It was just a great vibe. Everyone was happy. It was a little different because the Virgin Cruise, normally food on these cruises are fucking blow. It's just shitty food. They're just like cattle feeding you bread and fuck. I felt like, you know, like I was just in a workshop or whatever, just getting bread and fucking goopy fucking soup and shit. But this place, the Virgin Cruise Line was bomb as fuck. They had like 6 Michelin star restaurants and it was fucking awesome. They gave us an allowance so I could drink and not blow my whole money I made from last tour on this trip. And I didn't really spend that much money and it was really good and I was really excited. And then the last fucking day, you know, I was like really feeling myself, doing the whole Euro thing. We were in Ibiza. We're like, fuck it, let's buy some absinthe. I think I saw like a movie like Euro Trip. Remember that movie Euro Trip? I was like, I'm buying some absinthe. We're going to light this bitch. and on some sugar cubes and fucking, we're going to go for it. Oh my God. I almost fucking burned the whole boat down. I really felt, have you ever seen that TikTok video that's going around where people are just like peacefully just like sunbathing on a cruise, and then they pier ride Carnival Cruise and the whole fucking flip is on fire? Literally, that's what I thought was happening. I was lighting absinthe on fire, and because I didn't know how to do it, but like you're supposed to like light the sugar and let the sugar melt, but me and my friends, we don't know how to do it. We're dumbasses. So we kept on pouring absinthe on the sugar while the thing's lighting. And then the gust of wind came and whoosh, literally inflamed the whole front of the boat. And I was like, oh my God, this is my Titanic moment. I'm going to be fucked. I'm going to be fucked. And, you know, it had a little fire. It was like a fire because thank God it didn't hit any of the cushions or anything, but it was kind of like the alcohol was burning on the metal a little bit of like the seat, and I'm like, oh fuck, grab some water. So we grabbed water. I was pouring it on it, and I didn't realize, because I was such on adrenaline, so focused on getting the fire off the fucking boat, that I didn't realize there was a fucking flame. I felt like Dragon Ball Z up in this bitch, dude. There was a flame going up my leg straight to my dick hole, dude. And my hairs was burning off, and Jill was freaking out, and everyone was trying to stay like cautious and like, oh my God, what the fuck? And my leg was burning. I have 2nd-degree burns all over my fucking leg. And we got the fire out. And we got the fire out off the boat. No one saw us. Shout out to that. Fucking Christ, I would have been in jail. I would have been in boat jail. I shouldn't probably even be talking about this on the podcast, but I would have been in boat jail. And then I burned my fucking leg. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then we went back, and I was like, it was bad. I was bleeding out, and just like, people thought I had the monkeypox and shit, like, cause it was starting to bubble, you know, like kind of how like people are saying the monkeypox is happening. It was kind of bubbling. It was like, it was painful as fuck. And so lucky I'm alive. I could have been like backdraft up in here, dude. I could have been like backdraft. Your boy could have been backdraft. And like my friends, Andy, I took Andy Westby, my boy, Shoregasm, and I took Ben Russell from the Humphreys crew and their wives, and my buddy Rick, who owns Skull Candy, and I took Jill, and they're legit frightened. I was going up in flames like those monks did. Like, seriously, dude. Like, I was like, what the fuck? But the universe gave me some karma points, and I think I don't have any more karma points, so I'm going to be on very good behavior. So let's go. Thank you, karma. Thank you, karma. Jesus fucking Christ. But now here we are going back to Europe. After 3 days, Canada, then we played Asbury Park for the Sea.Hear.Now Fest. This is another installment. John from Head and the Heart's on the show today. I interviewed him yesterday right before my show, and it was fucking great. He's got like a little bit of like people say that he's like kind of mean, or kind of, not mean, but kind of like intense. And I felt like I had a great conversation with him. I was relating with him because I'm going through some shit in my head too. And it just made me feel that I'm not alone in this fight. A lot of musicians are going through this mental illness thing. And, because we don't have anyone to talk to about this. It's, you talk about this to a normal person, they think you're fucking crazy. So we got to hash it out a little bit, and one thing led to another, and it was just perfect. And I just really love his band. I loved his lyrics. I love that he's fighting to help his brain while helping figure out. They hired a band therapist. The Head and Heart said, you know what? We want to keep this band together. We're hiring a therapist for all 6 of us, because if we don't, we're going to fucking break up. And I got to respect that for the love of the music. And he goes through all of that. He goes through his family problems. We really opened up. We became bros real quick. And I'm stoked. And John, if you're listening to this, thanks for coming to the show, bro. You're the fucking man. You watching my show side of the stage, all the people. Sea.Hear.Now, Courtney Barnett. Holy shit, what a bad bitch that is, too. That was amazing. Courtney Barnett, fucking head in the heart. I think the best takeaways from that show was Courtney Barnett, head in the heart, and Green Day, and Stevie Nicks. Those four. You know, I've seen Billy Strings like 10 times. I mean, it's cool. But those four were the shit. And I was really excited to see Stevie Nicks just fucking kill it. 74 years old, just being a bad bitch. I could see it in her eyes that she's still a bad bitch. So shout out to Stevie. Let's go. And shout out to Green Day, throwing on a great rock concert with fireworks. I mean, like, I never really... I'll be honest with you. I never really watch music when I'm at these festivals. I'm always just drinking, catching up with my friends. And this trip, I'm like, I'm going to watch music, And I watched like all these big bands. Cage the Elephant was sick as fuck. It was sick as fuck. That was fun. This guy's crazy as fuck. This guy, he's given me a lot of, who's the guy from that major, Scott Weiland. That guy's giving me some Scott Weiland vibes, and he was jumping on fucking trusses and getting into the camera truss. I'm like, that's my motherfucker right there. Let's go. So shout out to Sea.Hear.Now. That was a great festival. Thanks for sponsoring the podcast. But before we leave, I need to talk to Bo. Hey Bo, come over here. Hey Bo. Bo Belinsky's back with us. You missed me. I missed you, buddy.
How y'all doing?
Come over here. Come,
dude. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. How you been?
Good.
Well, you're going to Europe now. How you feeling? You nervous?
I am a little nervous.
Why?
I just never been there before. I just want to make sure everything's good to go.
Well, you got a good wingman. Niels is a good
dude. Him and I have been talking last couple days, all morning.
That's gonna be one of your best friends, dude. Niels is the shit.
He is the shit.
We're gonna teach you those European roads. Did you know there's no speed limit in Germany?
Fuck with that.
Autobahn.
That could get dangerous.
But we're also in a van. Just remember, okay?
Don't
be fucking killing us.
There's 9 of us.
Yeah. So Belgium.
Sean's gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, I know. Oh God, poor Shawn.
Bo, slow down.
Bo, slow down. My knee, brother, my knee. But we're excited, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
We're gonna go take this thing with a grain of salt. We're gonna have some great shows, and we're gonna have some real fucking dead shows. But that's life.
We'll play it. We'll rock it.
We're trying new countries out. When you try here's my little pep talk for musicians. You got to keep trying. There's going to be shows. Like I just played in front of 10, 12,000 people. First show back on this tour, on the first show on this European tour, I'm playing for 15 people, buds. You got to keep trying. You got to keep bringing the people to the new shows. You just got to keep going. That's it, right?
Make it out. They'll make it.
They'll make
eventually.
it.
You just got to slowly build.
You got to slowly build. Europe. I mean, we're pretty big in like 6 towns in Europe, but we still got to move around. We got to go to Switzerland. We got to go to Paris. Fuck it. Oh, by the way, if you're listening to the podcast, we canceled the London and Manchester shows.
That's a bummer.
Yeah,
I was really looking forward to those.
Yeah, it was just costing too much, and not enough people were buying tickets, and we only sold like a couple tickets. And we will get back there. We will get back there, London, I promise. But we're gonna just keep our talents in the Netherlands, Germany, Belgium, and Switzerland for now. But we will be back there, London. Okay, you ready, buddy?
I'm ready.
Any advice from me? What do you need? What do you need me to do on this trip?
Relax.
Okay.
Keep calm. I'm here for you.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll get through this. It's gonna be a little bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
But we'll get through it.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to the States and rest for a minute.
Rest for 8 days while you and me interview fucking 12 people in the podcast to stockpile more before we start our fall tour.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
Little Strangers Boys. That's going to be fun.
Dude, I just hung out with them, made a music video. Oh, by the way, we got a new song coming out. Maybe next week. What week is this coming out to? Yeah, next week. We got a new song out with Little Stranger. Get on the lookout. We just made a music video. I love this song. It's called What a Life. You've listened to it, right?
It is, yeah.
You dig it?
Real good. I'm excited to see the music video. I saw some
dude,
like
shitty clowns.
Scene stuff.
Shitty really clowns giving nitrous to kids.
Amazing.
What a life. All right, guys. Be safe. Stay happy. Nick Gerlach's on this tour, on this European tour. Let's go, Nicky. Nicky's back. So starting next week, Nick will be my co-host, and he's going to probably talk shit about Europeans for fucking 2 weeks. But maybe he won't. Maybe he'll like the sternness.
I think he will.
Yeah,
I think he will.
he is like British.
Yeah.
He's got that fucking everything sucks.
everything.
Yeah, so he might like Europe. All right, guys, be safe. I love you. Stay happy. Stay inspired. Never give up, even when it's hard. Life is hard. We all understand how hard life is, but just know that tomorrow could be better. So why give up now? So without having a chance for tomorrow to have a better day, right?
Absolutely. When your knee blows out, just keep on fucking rocking.
Just fucking push that in every 5 times. Even if it takes 5 times, push that baby back in. All right, guys, I love you. Stay safe, and I'll enjoy John from Head and Heart. All right, next up on the interview hour, we have the Head and the Heart. John from the Head and Heart. Yo, Chris, play some Head and the Heart. This band is amazing. John is an amazing lyricist, straight out of Seattle. He is a type of artist who says exactly how he feels in all his songs, and you gotta love that about an artist. He's not singing songs that he thinks people will like. He's singing songs straight from the fucking soul. And I know you're gonna love this interview because he was super honest. You know, sometimes you know me, when right before a show and I got to interview someone right before the show, I go straight for the jugular questions sometimes. And he was like not scared, and he answered them. And I think you're just gonna really love this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on the last installment of the Sea.Hear.Now episodes, John from Head and Heart.
The fuck is up, John?
How you doing?
What's the word on the street?
I just woke up like this, you know what I'm saying? It's just
Mullet, shorts, tank top.
yeah. We played Richmond, Virginia last night, which is where I'm from.
Cool.
And I woke up 2 blocks from a beach and feel like I'm handling it pretty well.
After all these years on the road, do you still feel like a hometown show's a hometown show?
You do, because of the amount of friends that come out of the woodwork who are like, you mind if I get tickets?
Yeah, they're all like 6-figure jobs, but still want to get the hook
You know what's
up.
funny is like, he won't. I don't know. Maybe he will hear this.
We'll
whatever. Like, Shawn, you know who you are. Text me at 6:30. Like, doors open at 6:50. Which, he doesn't work in the industry. Fair enough. But like, bro, doors open in 20 minutes. You text me, hey, like, my girl just reminded me you guys are playing. I'm like, I got you. And then he's just like, oh, cool, because I was just about to hit purchase. And I was just like, you had it's not even sold out?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, you own the place that I go to all the time. Like, you're doing all right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it's funny. So, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but that is one marker how you always feel like
Is he a close friend of yours?
He's like, he's a close-ish friend.
Like when you were younger?
No. But I mean, like, so I kind of moved when I was younger from Florida to Virginia. So, like,
What part?
I grew up in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, like across the St. John's in Orange Park. Moved when I was like 13 to Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is like an hour south of DC.
Yeah.
And then after I graduated high school, I went to Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
So I kind of have like either middle school, high school friends or people that I met, which would have been college years, but I didn't go to college.
Why'd you move so much?
Well, the initial move was just like my dad was a welder and he made more money up north.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was a pipe fitter and a welder, so they just paid better up north.
Did you ever resent your dad for always moving when you were a kid?
I resented my dad for many other reasons.
What?
If things that are inside of his brain that I now find as like I feel very fortunate that I've inherited. Were not necessarily skill sets that made him a good father.
Yeah.
Or I think there were things that made him believe he couldn't be a good father. And you know what I mean? It's just like mind over matter shit. I just don't think he thought he was up for the job.
Right.
So therefore he wasn't ever really doing the job.
Yeah.
He worked his ass off to support a family, as did my mom. My mom worked 2 jobs, a lot. Cause as a physical labor, like if you get an injury, you're fucked. So my dad blew out his shoulder, and was out of work for years. Also, this is also the timing when like doctors are fucking ruining America with pills.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I just watched that documentary about the heroin epidemic.
Yeah.
Just from those pills that
because people are not able to get.
Yeah.
It's either like they can't reach the high or they can't afford to get access to these drugs that literally those companies were peddling through the doctors. And yeah, my dad was one of those. So my household was one of those. Like methadone was like just on the cabinet shelf.
Really?
Yeah.
And they were just dosing with methadone.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
And like, you know, when you're 16, your dad's having insane mild like mood swings. You know, it just sort of felt like par for the course of like, well, we don't really have much of a close relationship. I'm a teenager. It's tumultuous. It's a small home. Shit happens. And now looking back, it's like, oh no, he was coming down from like
methadone,
prescription heroin.
Oh my God.
And he didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Like he eventually weaned himself off that shit, but I was long gone by then.
Did you ever get into any of that stuff?
I mean, not heroin, but I would sneak some of his pills because you're, you know,
a kid.
You're in high school and you're like, what is that? I want to try that. And that's how I eventually learned, because I would also have, when it would start wearing off, I was like, if somebody was like shaking a glass with ice in it on the other side of the room, you'd be like, can we get a little peace and quiet here?
Oh, yeah. So that's
just
like the aggressive. Yeah. So he's just like coming down, dude. Oh,
yeah. So like I think because in so many ways, music and being a singer has saved my life, because it's a muscle that if you relax it, you can't really do your job.
Yeah.
Like I think if I was, I don't know, like the amount that having to perform at a high level as a singer has kept me from like tasting getting off the rails, but not having the choice to really get off the rails too much. I'm very thankful for, and
you lose your voice and you're fucked.
Yeah, you can't perform at a high level, and like, you know, I'm 37 now, and like I started doing it professionally at 24, and so 24 to 32, you think you're invincible, anyways,
right?
And when you're doing the lifestyle that we do, it's like you have access to things, and you think you can handle shit.
Yeah.
I feel like I only just now recently realized the amount of things that I thought I had control over, I really didn't. And it's like, and I'm like, I'm kind of fed up with being so fucking selfish.
You know, and I'll clap to that. Let's fucking go. You know what? I'm in the same boat, John. I've been doing 250 shows a year since I was 19. I'm 34. Wow. I've been, you know, doing coke and having one night stands, right? Not anymore, but forever. And then you reach this point. I was exactly 33 when I was like, I am fucking done with this.
Yeah.
So
it's like, how long do you want to hang out on a cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
It's a dead end street.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like you eventually like it's like there's something about the cycle where you continuously get that fix, whether it's the drug or just the like, these people know you.
Yeah.
That whole cul-de-sac knows who you are. But eventually you're like, oh shit, like you guys still just want to watch that?
Were you becoming an asshole at the end of that binge?
I was, yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like what were you doing?
I think I just like, I needed it. And I don't even know if it was because, I'm sure partially it was because of the substances, but it was also like, I just needed to process and like do therapy. Like there was shit that I was resentful about for years. That again, when you're in the cul-de-sac, you're not learning.
No.
So
the echo chamber.
Yeah.
I call
so it was partially the substances, and it was partially like I just wasn't working through my shit.
Yeah. What was the shit that you need to work through?
Daddy issues.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like just observations as a child, like seeing my parents. I think looking back now, it just feels like the chemistry was off.
Yeah.
They were ill paired, you know, and they weren't like. I don't think they were equipped with like, I see like our photographer, I feel like I talk in abstract ways. I'm not a very linear individual, but our photographer is 21 years old and she is more equipped with like her fucking emotional stability and like the tools to work through things than I am, and definitely more than my parents were. And it's just like an evolution thing, I think, with psychology and all of that. So my parents, like just watching them bicker and then fight, and then me fight with my father physically and like break shit in the house. And like, I mean, I nearly killed him one time and he nearly killed me one time. And like that trauma of feeling, I mean, I literally felt the life going out of my dad. I had him on the floor in a chokehold because he had me in one and I was breaking windows. It was gnarly.
How old were you here?
I was 16.
Did you
maybe
leave,
17?
Did you leave town after that?
I left. I mean, I ran out of the house that night, and eventually, I think I stayed with a friend. They kind of like were hip to like how fucked up my how tumultuous my home was at the time. So I stayed with a friend that night. But like things like that where like, and then ever since then I've had dreams where I'll be being chased by like a pack of wolves. And eventually I just stop, I turn around and I just grab them and I rip their fucking jaws apart.
Yeah.
And
what
so
do you think that
anger.
is?
It's anger and it's boiling anger. And it's like, it's being taunted by a father forever. And then finally, like I finally got into physical fitness so that I could defend myself. And then I did almost to the point where I killed him. And that's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to almost kill your father. It feels fucking terrifying.
I know. I've been having those weird dreams too. It's the art I think of. If you're being chased, that means they want something from you. So it's the idea of stop running and fighting back.
Yes, but ripping a wolf's jaw apart. I love dogs. I love animals. So it's just another layer of like it's a scary vision of yourself, view of who you are.
But maybe you loved your dad. And just as much as you loved animals.
Well, totally. Like he is my flesh and blood. And so imagine like wanting to like just out of sheer, I want this pain to stop. But like in order to do that, you have to sever ties with or nearly kill the person that you're supposed to love. Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. I've never been able to like psychoanalyze those dreams as much as we just have. But so imagine that, and then imagine being 21. You've been living on your own for a few years now. You know, you start drinking at bars, and out of nowhere, here comes this like, ability to like fight back, and you start seeing things in ways that aren't really necessarily as heightened as they feel. Yeah. So it took me a long time to like harness and work through my emotions because I would just, it was triggering. It was like, must have been like PTSD or something. You know what I mean? Like not everyone was actually chasing me like a pack of wolves. No. You know what I'm saying? But I would go from zero to that.
Is that anxiety?
I don't know. I think it's like,
what is chasing?
I don't know.
The idea of chasing.
I think it's like I just personally felt, I just got to a point where I was like, I've felt this way my whole life from something that was out of my control. I think it's out of control. Right. Not having control over like your own ability to feel safe, maybe. And I very quickly would be reminded of that feeling and I would just freak the fuck out. Yeah. And that's, it's just wild that a human can have that emotion while at the same time I'm obsessed with love. Yeah. Like I'm obsessed with love and I see it in nature and I see it in human beings and I've finally now found it with my now wife. But like to be able to possess that obsession with love and like it can wash over me in a field and I can like break down in tears. Yeah. How is that person the same person who can feel cornered and just go from 0 to 100 and think these wolves are after him and just like lash out?
But yeah, like what is love? It's the love. To me is when you stop running and let something into you.
I mean, 110,000% I agree.
So maybe that's why you love it so much because you've been running your whole life.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I was able to really love myself and love and understand what love was to have close people around me until I met my wife and her family.
How long have you been with her?
Almost 7 years. Been married for 1 year.
Okay, so I kind of want to, this is interesting to me. Mm-hmm. You talk about when you're a kid about like the resentment of your dad and you never wanted to be like him. You always felt like he was never there. Do you ever feel like you're in the same footsteps because you're a traveling musician and you're always gone from your wife?
110%.
How do you get through that in your head, that roadblock?
I think it's one step forward, 2, just 3 steps back a lot of the time. In all honesty, like just in the last like week to month, I've had some shit go down where I was like, really took a step back and looked at my life and looked at how selfish I was continuing to be. Because here's what I'm realizing. It's like my dad traveled for work because it made more money for the family. Like, I think we would have respected him and that when he come back, had he known how to handle the emotions of I miss you, I love you, and what that can sometimes turn into from children and wife. Right. And return as a positive, like, I know I miss you and I love you too. We never got that. It was just like he felt bad, he didn't know how to handle it, he shut off, he would smoke outside, we never saw him. Right. So I saw myself doing that. It's like, and I'm finally just trying to like show up and be accountable and be like, I miss you, I love you. I'm going to be present with you because I'm here now. Like, you've got to just learn how to I don't know, not let the negative become everything, right? Focus on the positive, and I think people are more understanding and forgiving of you because they're proud of you. Like you're following your fucking dream. Yeah. As long as I can be proud of you and you respect that, and you not be a total prick when you get back. Yeah, this is gonna work out okay.
You know, and it's like taking the microscope further away and realizing there's not that much bad stuff. Everyone else, there's so much other beautiful stuff we're doing. Yeah. But we can't see that because that one or two fucking pieces of shit or whatever it is in your head that is just driving us fucking mad that you can't fucking be present.
Yeah.
And I think love is present.
100%. Yeah. Honestly, like I'm just kind of in a place right now where like, whether it's just this tour or when I get off, just like kind of cleaning myself up and being completely natural on this run and sleeping and, you know, remembering people's names and remembering like, hey, remember when, you know, it's like the band and crew dynamic, we're so close, but at the same time, it can kind of just be surface on repeat sometimes. And it's like, hey, like 3 days ago, I asked you what you went to school for and I actually remember that now. Yeah. And I can like see you seeing something and be like, oh, that's that sociologist in you. You know what I mean? Like I can be a present and have depth human being with these people that when you're just kind of living day to day for yourself and your own gains, you don't have it.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing it took you 13 years to get to know your band?
Dude.
I'm like that with my band, bro.
Well, or it took me 36 and a half years to get to know myself.
Right.
Which one's more offensive? I don't know.
I think we'll always...
And not even offensive. See, that's being too hard on myself. Fuck that. Like, let go of the things you did wrong, because if you carry that shit around with you, you're continuing the cycle, right? Yeah. Like people just want you to be positive. So show up, be kind to yourself so you can be kind to others.
You know, it's like, it's so funny. We're in such a vulnerable job that when we come into our personal life, it's so hard to be vulnerable with the people we care about.
I know. Well, because sometimes you swing so hard. I remember in the beginning, especially, I'd come off stage and I was just so raw and so untrained, musically speaking, emotionally speaking, publicly speaking. I would bare my soul to such degree on stage. And those first 2 to 3 records too, especially were so first person, so much of my journal. I don't know that anybody ever realizes that, you know, it was like literally me. Yeah. Like I wasn't good. Like I got into this in the first place because I needed it. Like when I would get into these fights with my dad, I would write in red because it signified the blood, and I would write poetry and like.
You were deep thinking like that.
When I was 16, bro, I was into transcendentalism, motherfucker.
Let's fucking go. I mean, you had to find a way to fucking escape that pain without killing someone.
Exactly. Or going to, I think this job has kept me out of jail numerous times. And I say that kind of in a cheeky way, but
but it's true, bro.
But like for the first like 7 years of this, like I did not handle what is on stage and what is off stage very well, because I don't, people would want to meet you and they would want to like share their side of their stories with you. And I was just like so raw coming off stage that I would just be such a dick. Yeah. Because I just felt so insulted. I was just like, you fucking kidding me? Yeah. You want more? Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't have the awareness to realize like, they don't know what you're going through. They don't know how real that was for you. Yeah. Like how dare you get mad at somebody for being a fan of yours?
Or is it more of like I feel like that too when I'm burnt out and beat up. Like, what do you get off stage and you feel like they just want something from you, when really they're just trying to relate with you.
You get a little paranoid quick, because you start wanting to protect your own. Its boundaries are healthy, right? What I learned in the pandemic, when you had to create boundaries because you're at one place with you and other people, your wife. I don't have kids yet. I can only imagine. But like you learn to create boundaries. You learn to say no because it's healthier for a later on scenario where you're actually going to be better to yourself and those around you. Right. So like.
What was the worst blowout that you regret?
Band related or just personally related?
Just anything that keeps you up at night, because as you're feeling like you're becoming a better person. Yeah, or in your head, You're probably always a good person.
It's probably the most recent. It's always the most recent. It's kind of like, what's your favorite song? It's like the one I just wrote, but I think it's the ones that closest, because the ones that is closest is almost like a direct, like the underground, like tunnel back to the very first time you were a prick. Mm-hmm. And then you just get down on yourself. You're like, I'm still a prick.
I feel that way too, bro.
Yeah, biggest prick since 1997.
Hey,
you know
Andy
what I'm saying?
Frasco, prick.
Yeah. Still a prick since, still number one prick since 97. Like, cool.
So what was it? What was the blowout?
Recently it was like, so I enjoy or have been enjoying for like since I was a teenager. Like, I've always been interested in like psychedelics.
Same.
I've always been interested in stimulants. Well, not always, but stimulants kind of became a secondary thing, especially like doing this job where, you know, when you're tired, this job feels like a drag. When you're not tired, this job feels like you're in fucking heaven.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that happens naturally.
The same fucking
And sometimes it doesn't. And what I've actually started doing is exercising instead of relying on stimulants. It's more sustainable. I'm more present. I don't
like. What are you running?
No, my knees are fucking keeping me from running. Nah, dude, I started like
Sweating.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not like you can see me, but like I'm not like I'm some shredded, ripped out dude. But like I've been working on my core, my breath, and my balance because I'm 37 and I'm a front man, and I got all these fucking 21-year-old kids crushing it in their skinny jeans, just like, you know, these immortals in their black skinny jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta compete with that motherfucker.
Oh, I'm clapping to that.
Yeah. So I've been doing stuff like with resistant bands and like things where you use your own body and balance to like build strength and sustain it in like stamina, right?
Yeah.
I don't drink before shows anymore. I'm actually kind of not drinking at all right now until I get off tour. My voice, my range is way better. I had to quit smoking. All the shit that I loved doing was really keeping me at a certain level. There was an invisible ceiling. And once I quit smoking and stopped drinking, you know, anytime before performance, and currently even after them, performing is fucking easy. And I'm like crushing.
When you were drunk, you felt like you weren't killing it?
No. I mean, like years ago, I realized that like once you start headlining and you're doing like over an hour and a half straight of songs, like as a singer, you can't drink.
Yeah.
You get flat. You literally sing like shit.
Yeah.
And there's three of us, so there's like it's not like a band where it's like, oh, it's like not that noticeable because he's really into it. I throw off every fucking vocal harmony if I'm singing flat, as does everybody else.
And that's important.
So it's
for
like, you know, I think of it like if you're in this fucking fighter jet and you've got a formation, every motherfucker has to be on point. It's not just you.
True.
Right? So like you fuck something up, like disaster happens. So but yeah, so the exercise thing has been like so when I came back after the pandemic, I was like, fuck yeah, we still have a job. That's beautiful. Yeah. I'm thankful. However, I was also like, because I don't want to take it for granted, I don't want to get drunk and do it because I didn't want to get drunk and do it. I'm standing on stage. There's 6 people surrounded by 5,000 to 10,000 people a night. And I'm like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
How do I not see this? Like, this is weird. And I was having like just anxiety to where it took me like almost more than half the set to like stop thinking.
Yeah.
And that's just not a good ratio.
Especially after 14 years of just killing it.
Well, and like all those people who want to come back and see a live band, like they're not paying to see you have a fucking anxiety issue on stage, bro. So work your shit out before you get on stage. So that's what I do. I work out before I get on stage, and now I feel like I belong back to what it's like I'm 19 again. Like I knew I belonged in this world in music on a stage. And I think for a lot of those middle years, I kind of just like stopped remembering that you have to earn shit to deserve something, right? So I feel like I'm back to in a humble way of like remembering that you're always the student. There's always somebody who's hella talented, and if you don't want to like take this like seriously and see the beauty in it, then like fuck off, get out of the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Go back
It's
to
too
the G
hard
League.
for your exactly. And I'm big basketball head. That's all I think is how coaches how coaches deal with all these egos in a band. You know, as a lead guy, after now everyone has money, they have wives and shit. Yep. How do you balance that without everyone fucking killing each other?
Therapy.
Band therapy?
Yep.
You have the band on therapy?
Yep.
Together?
Oh yeah.
Oh, tell me about this. What's going on? Really?
I can't. I need to first and foremost give a shout out to Charity.
Yeah.
God bless her. She's one female surrounded by 5 males, has been for 13 years. She grew up with 2 sisters, no brothers,
God
and now
bless
she's
her
got
heart.
5.
I'm clapping for her. Let's go, Charity. Hell yeah, girl.
So as you can imagine, it was her initial spark who was like, hey, so I think it might be good if, and for, a long time we were just like, yeah, fucking guys, just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
We're already suppressed.
yeah, like, I don't know if I want to fuck with what's going on in here. Like the most selfish perspective of all time. Like,
we're
we're
fucking
good.
selfish.
She's like, I know you're good, fuckers. In which we weren't. But anyway, so we had started to sort of like approach therapy as a band for maybe 6 months or so, and then when the pandemic happened, it was in this regard a blessing in disguise, because we for once had the opportunity or the advantage of like being able to talk real talk, rip off Band-Aids, and not have to go into an interview or go on television or go on stage or go to our very small bus.
Yeah.
To
And
where you're
deal
like,
with it.
yeah, like no one's going to be honest and then have to be like sitting next to somebody being like, hey bro, like,
we
want to
got-
pass me that water bottle? Fuck you.
Yeah, we got
You know
8
what I'm
hours
saying? Like,
left on this
that is not
drive.
going to happen. So, in a weird
Did
way.
you used to do that? Like get drunk and say how you felt and then have to deal with the van drive?
You would get drunk and not say how you felt.
Oh, suppression.
It's just like a mountain of Band-Aids. And then you'd have a meltdown somewhere.
Why were you
randomly.
so afraid to like say how you feel to your band?
Because I think for me, I mean, I'm sure it was a different reason for everyone.
Yeah.
I think for me, like going back to like what used to haunt me the most, which was like having someone have power over me of like, this person makes me feel like I don't have safety and I don't have control.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an illusion that you feel like I chose this lifestyle. I have control. The minute you start opening up a conversation, and conversations don't resolve themselves immediately.
No.
There's like part 1, part 2, it's a saga. So like I don't think that I had the ability, I wasn't sturdy enough to handle the awareness enough to realize I'm not in control in this either.
Right.
I'm partially out of control because of these 5 other people. We are choosing to do this together, and I don't think I could have handled it.
So
Does that make sense?
Totally.
Like, yeah.
Because you're already not in control of your head. And your music that was your sanctuary was your place
is
of
now shared.
freedom.
Yeah.
Now it's a business.
It's a business.
And you're fucking...
And it's shared with 5 other individuals who, frankly, make it better. They add color and dimension and their own personalities. But yeah, when it comes to like having to work through your own emotions and try and, just navigate that, it's like...
Right.
Yeah, you learned that it wasn't easy, and so you started doing it less and less.
Yeah.
So you need a coach,
Yeah.
you need a producer, you need a therapist, you need somebody in the ring to like understand someone's breaking point,
Right.
let them draw that shit out, and then go, okay, thank you, John. Kenny, how does that make, you know what I'm saying? Someone to just oversee.
Was this therapist on the road with you guys?
She came out a few times, like I said, because 2019, when we were on the road, yes, she met us a few times. She's also incredibly busy and has her hand in life and several other things, and you typically at a much higher level of issue. And yeah, but so then like I think being able to do it from our own safety of our own apartments, virtually, Zoom calls.
That's what it was.
That's when it started to become actually honest.
Yeah.
Because you could, you would do that, and then you could close your laptop and you could just like decompress alone.
Yeah.
Talk to your wife about it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you would see them on the screen a few days or a week later, whatever. You know what I mean? You didn't have to like... It was nice to
wake
not
up
see
with
them.
them.
Yeah,
and,
we spent 12 years together.
Yeah.
And
I'm like that
I'm
with my
happy
band.
I'm happy now to want to spend another 12 years with them, but it was like
You guys almost break up, you think?
like a handful of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of bands that are here
Oh,
today
yeah,
have
everybody.
almost broken up dozens of times.
What do you think the
we were
main
not
core of a breakup of a band is?
miscommunication,
Yeah.
just like any other relationship.
Right. Musically or professionally or what?
I don't know, there's a difference. I don't see it as any different. It's all the same. I don't know. Power dynamics, because it's groups, right? So group
Right.
power dynamic. I mean, I think the easy answer is ego, but that's kind of a cop-out because what does that mean? To me, that encapsulates a lot of things.
Right.
Because a certain amount of ego is healthy. You have to have some amount of confidence to do what you're doing right now, to do what I'm doing on stage. You know, if you didn't have that confidence and your belief in yourself, then like, you know, I don't see how you get up on and do these things. So,
have you ever had a dud record?
That's a good question. In my mind, no, but I'm a songwriter. Like, I didn't do this for success. I'm happy. The success equals the ability to continue to do it. Right. So that's a beautiful thing. But to me, the success of making music and songs and a record is the engagement you see from a fan and like what that's doing for people. Mm-hmm. For sure, there's records that are more or that are better received by, you know, critically.
Does that bum a band out when it's less received?
Some people in the band are a lot more like sensitive to stuff like that. I think I have the advantage because I'm always getting healing from these songs. Yeah. So I'm less scared or concerned with what that means. Mm-hmm. I just have trust in like, hey, there's people listening because for a reason they're not necessarily the ones writing about it. You know what I mean? They're out there and they're listening, and this is, if it feels real to me, you know, it's going to feel real to somebody else. So like, the guy writing about it, maybe it was an editor who asked somebody to do it because the piece needed to be done. Who knows what was up their ass that day? Maybe they don't care. Maybe they're into metal and they had to write about a folk band. Like, I don't read too much into it. Like, it doesn't bother me that much. It doesn't surprise me very much. Yeah. Like, I'm a huge fan of right now I'm obsessed with The Cure. And like, you watch these Cure documentaries and it's like, people are ripping them apart, but also praising them at the same time. Right. And to me, every single one of those records are incredible. So who fucking cares? Like, who cares if there's I guess it's like, what constitutes a dud? Somebody saying their last one was better in that regard, then sure, of course we've had duds.
You had a great mentality there. Like the idea of who cares, you know, you have these, you write these songs, you do your thing. Why do we I'm talking about internally. So you just deconstructed like to let the river flow again. Yeah. Why do we not listen to the brain doing that same theory?
Well, because I mean, look, I'm also like probably trying to sound a little, you know, thicker skinned than I really am here. Yeah. Because of course, like I hear of shit, whether I'm the one who read it or it's a band member who felt the need to bring it to my attention, even though I think it was the most unhealthy shit you've ever done in my life. Yeah. By revealing that to me, but whatever.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
But it's like, I get it. And like, you know, just because on one hand, who doesn't want, I think we'd both be lying if we said that we don't want, at the end of the day, 10 out of fucking 10. Fucking 10. Cool. Right? 10. A 10. A fucking 10. Right? Like, we all want that. So we're going to, some part of us is going to have to acknowledge what they're saying. Yeah. Right? The shit and the really good. And I don't think I'll ever get a fucking
10.
A 10. 10. Fucking 10.
Fucking 10.
You know? But I'll probably never stop striving for one. Yeah. So therefore, you're always going to be a little susceptible to those who are saying like, 4.5. You're like, 4.5.
Oh, mother.
Come on.
No,
please give me a fucking 7. Yeah. I know you thought 7 and you just wanted to be like with your peeps and say 4.5.
Do you think these guys are more critical the more records you make?
I don't know. Actually, I think it depends on I think it has more to do with like the graph, the scale of like your rise. For us, we kind of had like a very like no one had ownership over our shit except for our fans. And I think that's why people there's like, we may as well just pan it. Yeah. Because we didn't rely on them. Yeah. Like we sold our shit at first. We weren't on a label and like we just had access to the people. How many years did you do that for? It was like a year, but like we sold like 10,000 records out of our trunk of our car.
Let's fucking go, dude.
I know. Yeah. So like people didn't break, like fans broke us.
How old were you?
24.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. So in a weird way,
You didn't get into coke and pussy with that much excitement?
No. Dude, I was surrounded by like homeschool kids. I moved to Seattle to start this band. If I would have moved to New York and found people like me, I would have been dead already.
Yeah. Same, bro.
Yeah. So God bless everyone from Seattle.
Shout out
I did have to move back to Virginia, but I appreciate you doing.
Shout out to Seattle. Yeah, it's so fucking wild, dude. Life is so wild. Why does it take us 40 years to kind of start understanding? I'm 34, but like I'm just getting to the surface of who I am.
Yeah.
We're so afraid to find out who we are.
Well, and the funny part is when, personally for me, because I can so relate to that, when I was 27, I thought I had it all figured out. I was the most arrogant I've ever been. Thought I had it. I thought I was just like, yo, why are we not like, we should be fucking co-headlining with Coldplay, motherfucker.
Right?
Like,
that was in my head too.
And meanwhile, I'm like, yo, you've only done like one record. But in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but just wait till see what I do next.
Yeah.
And then you do something next, and they're like, yeah, first one was better. And you're like, fuck!
Are you competitive?
What's that?
Are you competitive?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Grew up
Who are your
skateboarding.
guys?
So like,
oh, you were into skateboarding.
I'm like competitive, but like I was never like a team. So NBA is new for me. My wife played when she was in school. So she taught me. So pandemic showed me the NBA. The bubble, loved it.
Where do you live now?
I live in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, sick.
But I was living in San Francisco for like the last 6 years because that's where my wife is from. So we're in this like, we had like a dope loft apartment and I'm just watching fucking NBA eating popcorn like, oh, my wife would be like, so that's why this play is happening and like that's why defense is important down here. And I'm just like,
You understood it.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Draymond Green. Fuck yeah, Draymond Green. Okay. Oh, I see you, Curry. Just like getting into the Golden State Warriors. And it was like it was the time when Curry had his thumb injury. So like he was out for the whole season.
Right.
And then he's back and they like almost made it to the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful watching Jordan Poole come up.
Mm-hmm.
Watching, I would like shed tears after some of those games. It was the most beautiful way of watching a veteran come back and bring up these kids in a very humbling way, and for them to come clawing back. I'd never been in group team sports. Yeah, running, track, skateboarding. That's it. So like I'm competitive, but I would like. What I do competitively, like skateboarding allows you to do is like you would group skate like maybe Friday or Saturday on the weekends. Yeah. All week long, you go to school, you come home, you practice these tricks over and over and over again. No one sees it. So I think I for a long time had an issue with like, I don't want you to see me until I'm crushing it. Yeah. Right. So like I spent all week working on this backside tail slide, couldn't do it. Fifth day, finally get it. Boom. Saturday rolls around. Go skate with the group. Oh shit, John can backside tail slide all of a sudden. So competitive, but I also had an advantage of like disappearing like a cat in the woods when they're sick, and then they come back all healthy and shit. Yeah. Like, so I think being in a band was like the first time where I had to like be sick in front of people.
That was the theory I was
did not hear. I didn't handle it well.
Yeah, because you've always been an individual athlete.
Yeah.
I consider being in a band is just like being in a professional athlete.
I appreciate you saying that because I actually agree with that now.
It's mental as fuck, dude, to play in front of that many people every night
it really
and
is.
kill every night.
Is. Yeah, and okay, so I appreciate that. There's one thing I heard from LeBron James was saying like I used to play, my drive used to come from anger, and now my drive comes from joy, and like. And I feel like I noticed that shift in his playing, and I feel like I'm finally hitting that place. Yeah. Because I used to walk out, especially big festivals, and I was just like, I'm going out there like a fucking like Braveheart.
Yeah, same.
Like, to charge. Face paint, I'm charging. It just looked like a sea of people that I needed to convince were morons unless they understood how fucking important this music was. Right. Like, it's so crazy. Like, that's such an odd thing to think. Yeah. But I think maybe at the time that was my only drive, was like, that was my fire. And now I'm kind of like, it's so much of a better feeling to go out there and just like love is my drive. Yeah. And I know that sounds fucking cheesy and cliche, but like, if you know me, like you'd be like, oh, thank fucking God.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like anger got you there. Mm-hmm. Now you don't want to be angry your whole life. No. That sounds fucking horrible.
I just see what it's just that's just toxicity.
Yeah. So you got to find a different way to fucking spark that.
You ever go into an elevator and you don't say shit, and that elevator ride is just like whatever. You ever go in an elevator and you smile and you leave that elevator going like, wow, wow, somebody else smiled.
Yeah, it's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it's just
breaking through the glass.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
Oh my God. Okay, I got 2 more questions. I got to go perform in 20 minutes. Great. This has been great, John.
I agree. I
feel like we're getting to know each other.
You
know all my friends, like Dawes.
We just had the best tour ever with those guys.
Yeah, and Erin Ray.
Yeah.
I think she played with you guys a couple years back. But Dawes, I heard that tour was great.
Yeah. Yeah, they were lovely.
Yeah.
All of them. Like,
You ever hate an opener? And you have to deal with these motherfuckers for like 2 months? You don't have to say names.
no, I've never hated. No.
Like pretentious.
I mean, honestly, dude, if I'm being real, I was probably the one so caught up in my shit that
They hated you.
I was either like numb to it or like I really loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's easy to marinate in our own shit, bud.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when everyone's kissing your ass.
Think it's not that smelly.
Yeah, exactly. Because everyone's kissing your
Who the
ass.
fuck says smelly?
You know, I realize like sometimes I'll have conversations with people, my breath is stanking.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Stinking.
We have the masks now, dude. Like if I want to get up at like 7 a.m. and go get a coffee, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll brush my teeth later. Mask. Put the mask on.
They put up with our assholeness when we're having a bad day.
I know.
That's pretty beautiful.
Yeah. So
God bless your wife.
Dude.
What was like the craziest?
Tell me about it.
I mean, like, do you ever almost break up with her because she almost break up with you because you're acting too fucking crazy?
I mean, I'm sure. I mean,
come back from the
I think
road,
that,
just fucking
don't
know how to reverse
the
time.
amount of shit that she's, it's like it's offensive to myself to imagine how many things she's been patient and just like trusting that I will eventually do the right thing and learn from something and get over my shit.
Right. Pretty amazing. Do you believe in she was here for a reason?
Oh,
it was meant to be.
Her and her entire family have like created like a love force field for me because I'm a good runner.
Yeah.
Like literally and figuratively, like I can just burn a bridge and be like, I didn't need that fucking island anyways. I'll go find another one because I'm a fucking adventurer.
And it felt like she came at the right time. If 7 years, that means like you're deep in your head and deep with the band drama, you know, like it was just meant to be to have like everyone needs a getaway. I have my first girlfriend right now. I've never had a girlfriend. I used to just have one night stands my whole time.
Wow.
And I just this is the first time I'm stop. It's cool and frightens me, and we break up all the time because I want to run the same thing. I'm like, I don't need this island. I don't have a boat. Fine, I'll swim. I'll find a shark to move me.
Well, you know what? If I could say one thing, the thing that I think, because I was like that even when I met my now wife Lindsay, like I still had a lot of that in me, and what I was taught by her family was like, you know, it's not sexy. Like what this weird thing you think is like interesting and cool, this ability that you have to run. Guess what? That's the easiest thing in the world to do. The hardest thing to do, the thing that actually make you look like a fucking man, is to take the fucking punishment, learn from it, and fucking sit your ass down and
I
fucking listen.
Love this woman.
You know what I'm saying?
That's some dope advice.
It is.
Whatever it is, too.
However, we convinced ourselves that it's like somehow cool and mysterious to have this ability to run, we couldn't be further from the truth. Like, what the fuck? It's not cool. It's not sexy.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't need someone kissing our ass, especially if it's a wife.
Dude, well, we already have enough fucking confidence in ourselves. Let's be honest.
Damn, I love that. She does fucking wow.
Yeah. No.
Sit your ass down and eat your
you want to
peas.
be a man? Sit your ass down and fucking listen and stay here.
Yeah.
And realize that you need to learn from some shit.
Wow. And have you?
I have. I'm 37. I still have a lot of shit to learn.
Yeah. Well, welcome, brother. Me too.
Thank you. Thank you.
John, thanks for being on the show. We didn't even talk music. I felt that was just a real bonding
You know what?
session.
People have heard the music. This is more. This is shit that no one gets to hear. So thank you for doing it.
You ready for Sea.Hear.Now?
I'm so fucking ready.
You ready? You still happy when you go out on that stage?
I'm literally the happiest I've ever been. I'm not even just saying that right now.
Do you ever get bored of the songs you play?
I used to.
Yeah.
I used to when I was thinking about it all in the mentality of like Braveheart.
Yeah.
I thought like literally like I used to think like I always had to be reinventing the wheel, and now I'm like, nah, dude, just go out there. Every day is a new day. And the person that hears tonight, like they're here for very different reasons than the people who were there for last night. Well, different and not different. Like they're just here to be overjoyed or healed or have a release or whatever it is. Like you just go out there and let them have that. That's your fucking job.
I fucking love you, John. Thank you. I needed this because I was like, I'm like tinkering. I'm in a songwriter. I'm also in the jam scene, and I deal with these fucking jam people who I swear to God, like I have to change the sound. Like I want to play the songs I want to play that I love to play. You know, and my fans want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm getting, you get chastised. You got to play something new. I'm like, suck my dick from the back.
You know, it's like And it's interesting because to them it's like there is a loud voice of a collective voice of a lot of people in any genre who they can be such purists and that music is so important to them.
Yeah, no.
Just try and give them the benefit of the doubt. Like that's why they're doing that because
You're
it's
right.
so important to them.
Yeah.
But also remember, like, hey, I appreciate your perspective, but I'm here because I am who I am.
Right.
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 And so like you gotta. Give me some fucking leeway too, bro. Like you love this because of what I brought and what my bandmates brought to this. So like, give us some fucking room.
Damn, I'm about to Venmo you $75 for a therapy session, dog.
I'm just paying it forward. I'm just paying it forward because this shit did a lot for me as well.
It was a pleasure to talk to you,
Absolute
John.
pleasure.
And hopefully we get to see each other again. I'm in Richmond a bunch, and you know Dave Schools? He's in Widespread Panic. He grew up out there.
Really?
Richmond is low key dope.
I know.
Good music
and let's keep
scene.
it low key
Okay,
dope.
I will.
Okay.
Mama Zoo's, all that stuff is the fire, dude.
Yeah.
And I love playing the National. That's the spot we play, and it's like,
we've played there almost every single time we've played. Last night was the first time we have really we played the Austria Theater last night.
that's bigger, right?
It's bigger, and it's because normally we're like the National or a night or two there.
Yeah.
Or Browns Island, Friday Night Cheers.
Hey, I've been seeing your things. It's just been big. Like you're putting your dick out there and it's working, bro.
Thanks, dude. Yeah,
it's cool.
appreciate that.
We'll keep doing it.
Thanks, dude. Yeah,
Thanks, bro.
appreciate
Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, I gotta go perform. But John, thanks for being on the show, and
man.
good
Thank
luck
you
with
for having
everything.
me.
And we'll be friends.
Yeah.
Later.
Look forward to it.